Full report. South Africa has been plunged into yet another political earthquake after news broke that Deputy President Paul Mashatile has been arrested abroad under dramatic circumstances. The arrest, linked to allegations of international money laundering and illicit financial networks, has sent shockwaves through the ANC's top ranks, leaving President Cyril Ramaphosa and his inner circle scrambling to contain the fallout. What was once whispered speculation has now transformed into a full-blown crisis that threatens the very core of the ruling party. Reports confirm that Mashatile was detained in Europe after international authorities executed a warrant tied to suspicious financial transactions and offshore accounts allegedly linked to state capture-era deals. His sudden detention is unprecedented. Never before has a sitting deputy president of South Africa faced such an international scandal of this magnitude. The development has left the ANC leadership in disarray, with frantic meetings and crisis talks dominating Luthuli House. Inside Parliament, the news detonated like a political bomb. The DA's John Steenhuisen wasted no time in seizing the moment, declaring, "This is the proof South Africans have been waiting for. The rod has reached the very top of government, and now the international community is doing what our own state institutions have failed to do: hold the ANC's leaders accountable." The EFF's Julius Malema was even more scathing, accusing Ramaphosa himself of being next in line for international scrutiny. Mashatile is just the beginning. Ramaphosa and the rest of the ANC criminals must know that no amount of hiding will save them. The arrests will continue until every looter is behind bars. The ANC benches were thrown into chaos, with some MPs desperately trying to defend the party's leadership while others sat in stunned silence. Whispers quickly spread about who might be next, as speculation swirled around pending investigations involving other senior figures, including cabinet ministers and long-serving NEC members. For the ANC, the nightmare scenario is no longer a warning, it is reality. Meanwhile, President Ramaphosa's reaction has been criticized as hesitant and defensive. His office released a carefully worded statement expressing concern over Mashatile's arrest and insisting that due process must be followed. Yet behind closed doors, sources reveal an atmosphere of panic. Emergency meetings were reportedly held late into the night, with senior officials debating whether Ramaphosa should distance himself from his deputy or publicly stand by him. Either choice carries enormous political risk. Public anger, however, is boiling over. For years, South Africans have demanded accountability for corruption that has hollowed out state institutions, crippled the economy, and destroyed public trust. The arrest of Mashatile has reignited calls for a full purge of the ANC's leadership. On social media, hashtags like #Mashatile Arrested and #AnceInPanic began trending within hours, with ordinary citizens mocking the ruling party's attempts to project unity. Protests are now being planned outside key ANC offices, with activists demanding Ramaphosa's immediate resignation. Internationally, the arrest has raised serious questions about South Africa's credibility on the global stage. Diplomats are watching closely, with fears that further revelations could implicate not only ANC leaders but also international corporations and governments that benefited from corrupt networks. Analysts warn that the scandal could have severe economic consequences, from investor pullouts to diplomatic rifts, if the situation spirals further out of control. The symbolism of Mashatile's arrest cannot be overstated. Long seen as Ramaphosa's second-in-command and a possible future president, his downfall has shattered the illusion of stability at the heart of the ANC. With his deputy now in custody abroad, Ramaphosa finds himself isolated, weakened, and under immense pressure to act decisively. The opposition is already circling, calling for Parliament to convene an emergency session to debate the future of the presidency. Legal experts suggest that the arrest could trigger constitutional complications, particularly if Mashatile is unable to perform his duties while facing trial in a foreign court. For the ANC, the timing could not be worse. The party is already facing declining support ahead of elections, and this crisis may very well be the final nail in its coffin.